Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow room. Oh, yes, bong. There it goes. All right. And today we are continuing our review of Hindemith, all kinds of Hindemith, just fascinating stuff. And we begin with a famous Hindemith CD featuring Glenn Gould, who did quite a bit of Hindemith. Why? Because Hindemith was extremely contrapuntal. So he was made for Glenn Gould. And Gould reciprocated the favor. So we'll be talking about some Gould recordings, at least this one. The others I think are in there too. But we'll see what pops out. We have first Das Marienleben, the complete Das Marienleben, featuring Roxolana Roslak, soprano. She sings quite well. Das Marienleben, Opus 27, is a very, very interesting song cycle to poems by, who is it? It's Rilke, Rilke poetry. The story of the life of Mary. A very surprising work coming from Hindemith, because Hindemith was extremely attracted to Christian mysticism, because he was extremely attracted to medieval music and medieval composers. He was not himself Catholic. I said he was at one point because everyone sort of thought he was, but he wasn't. He was Protestant. And he later orchestrated a batch of the songs to make a very, very lovely symphonic song cycle for soprano and orchestra. I saw a really attractive performance of it sung by Phyllis Curtin at Yale, because, Hindemith had been at Yale along with Charles Ives. Those are like the great Yale composers, yeah. And we used to see Charles Ives festivals, and there were Hindemith festivals too. And at one point, the Yale Philharmonia gave a marvelous Hindemith evening where they did the Symphonia Serena and the Harmony of the World Symphony and Das Marienleben and like all kinds of stuff. And Phyllis Curtin was the soprano, and she was just a wonderful singer. But Roxolana Roslak does extremely well. Glenn Gould accompanies sensitively. And there are quite a few songs. I mean, there are only 5 songs, I think, in the orchestral version. But there were, 15, it looks like, songs in the complete work for piano, soprano, and piano. And it follows the life of Mary from the very beginnings of her, Maryhood, through the death of Mary. Let's see, we've got also Richard Strauss, the Ophelia Lieder, Opus 67, with Roxolana Roslak on this disc. Krennic's Wanderlied im Herbst, with Patricia Rideout. This is a first release. And Strauss's Bei Schlafengehen from the 4 last songs with Lois Marshall and Gould playing the piano. It's fun. It's part of the Glenn Gould edition on Sony. But Marienleben is a singular work in Hindemith's output, because although it's early, it's very non-threatening. He writes to the subject. He evokes the poetry very beautifully, and he uses a melody at the very, very opening, which would later recur throughout his work, in one form or another. It's da 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 ba da 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 da. It goes like that. You can even hum it. Even I can hum it. And it has a wonderful innocence, a modal quality. It signals what was going to happen to his style in the works to come. So, yeah, very, very important piece of music. Then we've got Hindemith cello concertos with Miklos Perenyi, wonderful cellist, Hungarian cellist, in the Budapest Festival Orchestra under Ivan Fischer and György Lehel, who was a stalwart of the Hungariton label. And this is on Laserlight. Super, super cheap label. Really kind of cool. Oh, also there's the Dvorak Concerto in here. So it's Hindemith's cello concerto and the Dvorak cello concerto. Now the Hindemith concerto, as I pointed out previously in a video, the slow movement became the subject of William Walton's Hindemith Variations. And it uses that theme from Das Marienleben, sort of a variation of it, for the slow movement, which is the theme that Walton took for his variations. It's da 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 da, ya da do, ya da da. Then here comes the part, da da But da 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 da. Well, I'm sorry, I know, but yes, it's in there, and it's very, very interesting. So that little melodic sniglet that was almost a signature. Hindemith had musical signatures. His music is worth getting to know because it has a distinctive voice, and you can follow it, and it's fun to follow, and you hear stuff. It's just great. Okay, complete cello concertos on CPO with David Geringas and Werner Andreas Albert with the Queensland Symphony. Now this is in the complete orchestral music boxes, those big boxes, which I also have down here. They're sitting right there, over there. I mean, if I point this way and you look at the top of that shelf, see the top of that shelf? There's like this little gray area. That's the other set of Hindemith orchestral music boxes. So yeah, they're right over there. So here they are, and we talked about them already. They're wonderful. There are actually three of them. One of them is an Opus 3 early violoncello concerto from 1916 in E-flat major that nobody knows. It's in a very different style from his later works. Then Kammermusik No. 3 is for obbligato cello and 10 solo instruments. And finally, the Big Cello Concerto from 1940 that has the tune I just pathetically attempted to sing. What's this one? The String Quartets. Oh, yes, the complete edition. String Quartets numbers 0, number 3, number 4, number 5, Overture to the Flying Dutchman, and Minimax. Maybe it's not complete. Oh, it's volumes 2 and 3, pardon me, because volume 1 was released previously in this series, which is it in here? Is it? It will pop up at some point, I'm sure. Anyway, Hindemith wrote a batch of string quartets that are really fine works and well worth getting to know. And lots of fun. And the early one, number 0, Opus 2, is 38 minutes long. It's so different from his later work. It's like Reger and Brahms and those people. And then there is the wonderful Overture to the Flying Dutchman, as played at sight by a second-rate orchestra at the Village Well at 7 o'clock in the morning. Well, you can imagine what that sounds like. It is, of course, a parody. It is a 7-minute parody of Wagner's Flying Dutchman Overture with all kinds of wrong notes and things. Oh, it's all hell breaks loose. It's just a disaster. And it's funny as all hell. It's hysterically amusing and very difficult to play because, they're drunk and they're bleary and they reach out and grab random notes at high speed, except that if you perform it as a string quartet, you have to play what Hindemith actually wrote with precision. And it's one of his jolliest pieces. And he did have a sense of humor, sort of, kind of, when he wanted to. And he did here. So that's with the Kian Quartet. Yes, on Praga. It's fantastic. Wonderful. Karida Mattila. Modern Portrait on Finlandia. There she is. Look at this better outfit there. There you go. You got to see the outfit. Fabulous, isn't it? Yeah, she's a great singer. Wonderful, wonderful singer. And here we have Das Marienleben in the orchestral version. The Lahti Symphony is accompanied by Ulf Söderblom, I think it is. Yes, Ulf Söderblom. And the Turku Philharmonic with Jacques Mercier. We also have the 4 Dream Songs by Aulis Salonen, which are beautiful, wonderful works. And Mikko Heinio, yes, Heinio, yeah, Il Vuelo de Alhambra, Barbed Wire Flight. Why not? Yeah, so that's cool. A cool way to get Das Marienleben. And here's another one of the CPOs that are in the big box over there. The Violin Concerto with Dean Olding, sensational violinist. Kammermusik No. 4 for violin and large chamber orchestra. And the orchestral suite from Tutti Fenchen, the Christmas fairy tale, which I'll bet you haven't listened to in at least, I don't know, 1 or 2 days. There you have it, my friends. More fabulous Hindemith. So keep on listening and take care.